This is our segment on climate change and the greenhouse effect. We ask the questions everyone all over the world wants to know the answers to. Are global temperatures rising? Here's Brittany Everett with the science behind why the Earth's natural climate is warm enough for us to survive.
How a greenhouse works. A greenhouse takes solar energy and converts it to thermal energy. Solar infrared light rays from the sun pass through the glass of a greenhouse, and they're really short light waves, and when they come through the glass, they become really long. The long glass doesn't allow long wave radiation out, resulting in the heat waves to circulate and reflect off the glass inside the greenhouse. Eventually, they get absorbed by their surroundings and heat the greenhouse even when it's freezing cold outside.
Yes, it looks quite cold out there, Brittany. So what we're wondering now is, how does our global temperature on Earth maintain a warm enough climate that allows us to survive?
Gases in our atmosphere act like the glass of a greenhouse. This is called the greenhouse effect. Like a greenhouse, Earth is wrapped in layers of gases that make up the atmosphere, sustaining life on Earth by trapping energy from the sun. The natural energy trapping process is called the greenhouse effect. Earth's greenhouse effect has been happening for millions of years, and without it, Earth would not be like we know it. It would be very cold. Our atmosphere allows much of this slow-moving energy called infrared radiation from the sun to pass through it. The radiation is absorbed by Earth's surface, becoming thermal energy, and clouds and gases in the atmosphere absorb much of the infrared radiation emitted from Earth's surface. These are called greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are any gases in the atmosphere that absorb lower energy infrared radiation. The most important greenhouse gases include water vapor and carbon dioxide. Other less significant ones include nitrous oxide, ozone, and methane. These gases are produced by the combustion of fossil fuels through energy production, industry, and transportation. Their contribution to the greenhouse effect is determined by their contribution in the atmosphere and how much thermal energy they can absorb. You can see each greenhouse gas molecule is made of 3 atoms that are loosely bonded together, which allow them to wiggle and move around in many ways. As a result, these 3 atom molecules can absorb different types of energy infrared radiation. They re-radiate the energy and eventually release it quickly in all directions, meaning about half of the energy they radiate comes back down to the Earth and also heats the Earth along with the sun's energy.
So what's the problem? Can too many greenhouse gases be a bad thing?
The greenhouse effect often gets a bad rap because of its association with global warming, which is the average increase in global temperatures, but the truth is we couldn't live without it. A theory behind why Earth's climate is changing and becoming warmer is how humans have impacted the greenhouse effect. We produce more greenhouse gases, increasing the greenhouse effect, making Earth's temperature rise. Studies have shown that Earth's greenhouse is warming very quickly since the Industrial Revolution. We as a human race have been adding more greenhouse gases to our atmosphere. These excessive amounts of greenhouse gases are causing an intensified greenhouse effect that is causing changes to our planet's climate. The global carbon supply was essentially stable for thousands of years, as natural processes removed as much carbon as they released. However, modern human activity, such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and intensive agriculture, has added huge quantities of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. Ultimately, more greenhouse gases means more infrared radiation trapped and held, which gradually increases the temperature of the Earth's surface and the air in the lower atmosphere. Back to you, Emily.
Thank you, Peyton. We now look to Selena with today's current environmental situation.
According to David Suzuki, Earth's current environmental situation is pollution of our gases in the atmosphere, causing global climate to change, an increase in the temperature. The problem begins when human activities accelerate the natural process by creating more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere than are necessary to warm the planet on an ideal temperature. Today, levels of methane, carbon dioxide are the highest they've been in nearly 500,000 years. The atmosphere contains 42% more carbon dioxide than it did at the start of the industrial era. Greenhouse gases are produced by burning natural gas, farming, land use charges, factories, deforestation, and population increase. These gases are raised in the atmosphere and ultimately contribute to global warming. Today, the average global temperature is increasing quickly with unpredicted speed. During the last century, the average global temperature increased by about 0.6 degrees Celsius. Scientists, using computer climate models, estimated by the year 21,000 that the average global temperature will increase by 1.4 to 5.8 degrees Celsius. Right now, we are currently noticing that storms are becoming more frequent and intense. In 2011, the U.S. experienced a record number of tornadoes, reaching over 900 in 1 year. According to the United Nations, some climate change is already unavoidable because of the emissions that have occurred since the beginning of the industrial age.
Thank you, Selena. We now look at the future implications on organisms and environment if the temperatures continue to rise.
Increasing global temperatures associate with a decrease of the amount of ocean that is covered by ice. As glaciers shrink, it contributes to the rising sea levels. Warmer water would affect fish because the water would have less oxygen for them to breathe. Yet coastal areas will become more vulnerable to being flooded.
The world's endangered species would become extinct as the rising temperatures have changed their habitats. Change in wind speed, wind direction, and precipitation caused by warming climates can lead to changing biomes and widespread of extinction of species. Some species may become extinct due to the rapid climate change. For instance, the polar bear and the Arctic animals may become extinct if the temperatures get too warm for them. They won't be able to survive.
Millions of people would also be affected, especially poor people who live in precarious locations or depend on the land for a subsistence living. Too hot of temperatures would lead to drought affecting these people.
What can we do to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions? Take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow down warming by reducing dependence on fossil fuels, which produces carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide. Increase the use of renewable energy, expand forests, make lifestyle choices that help to sustain the environment. Thank you for watching our news broadcast on climate change.
Raise your voice!
Plant trees.
Take action! Choose a smaller, efficient vehicle to drive.
Have energy efficient appliances.
Turn off lights when you leave a room.
Or biking places.
A greenhouse...
According to the United Nations, some climate changes are already inevitable. According to the United Nations, some climate change. I can't inevitable.
Like a greenhouse.
Let go?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is today's current environmental situation?